Okay, I'm back with page 74, and we're taking a look at numbers 5 and 6 to begin with, and those are based on the graphs below. Okay, let's just study our graphs for just a second. This is more of a test-taking strategy than anything. Looking at graph A, would you say that the slope is positive or negative? The slope is positive. Okay, looking at graph B, would you say that the slope is positive or negative? The slope is negative. For graph C, would you say that it is positive or negative? It is positive. Graph D, positive or negative? And graph E is positive. So take a second just to look at your graphs. All right. Another thing that I would take time to notice is the y-intercept. So for positive A slope, the y-intercept is at 0, -4. On this one, we have a negative slope. The y-intercept is at 0, +4. Graph C, we have a positive slope. The y-intercept is at 0, +4. Here we have 0, -4 for the y-intercept. And here we have 0, -4. So just get familiar with your graphs, sort of understand what they are showing you. I do want to point out that E actually has an x-intercept. The x-intercept is at 4, 0. Okay, now let's take a look at the questions. Which graph represents y equals 0.5x minus 4? So take what you know. This is slope-intercept form. So slope is a half, 0.5. The y-intercept is at 0, -4, because remember baby b is here and here. So using that information, let's pick a graph. The slope is positive, so we can eliminate B and D. And let's go ahead and do that. B and D have negative slopes, and our slope is positive. Now, we need to actually look at the y-intercept next. A has 0, -4, so it could be A. Let me try that again with a smaller pencil. I'm getting too much thickness there. So 0, -4, that is true of A. Graph C has 0, +4, so we can eliminate that one. We need a -4. Baby B is negative. And then graph E has 0, -4. So it is down to these two slopes. Now you could eyeball it, A and E. Which one of those has a gentler slope? I think it's A, but let's figure it out. So using the stair-step method, with A, you rise 1, you run how many? 2. You rise 1, and you run 2. So the slope on this one, using rise over run, is 1/2. That's what we're looking for. So I strongly believe it to be A. Slope is rise 1, run 2. But let's test E because it is a positive slope. Let's see what we have. So for this one, we rise 2 and run to. We rise to and run to. So for this one, slope is 1 over 1 or 1. This slope is steeper than the one in A. A is a much easier staircase to climb. So I like A. The intercepts match up on both of them, but the reason it can't be E is because slope on E is 1. Okay, using that same logic, which graph represents y equals negative half x minus 4? So slope is negative 1/2. Y-intercept is 0, negative 4. So we're looking for a negative slope this time. So it has to be B or D. We can eliminate A, C, and E because they have positive slopes. So for graph B, we have a y-intercept of 0, 4. For graph D, we have a y-intercept of 0, negative 4. So it has to be D. We need a negative y-intercept. So I don't have to calculate slope on that one. I can rule out the answers based on the intercept. Okay, that brings us to the end of the homework for lesson 5.1. So I'll stop this video and then we'll come back in another video and start the second part.